Hey, today we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the extremely ugly of real estate in Central Florida. That is coming up next. What's up, everybody? It's Matt Allen here with the Allen Real Estate team. Thank you for checking out my video today and checking out my channel. If you like the content that I'm providing, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. I'm really working hard on growing my channel. Today's video has to do with the good, the bad, and the very ugly going on in real estate, specifically here in the Orlando, Central Florida area, Winter Garden, Windermere, Dr. Phillips, all those great areas. There's a lot of good going on. There's some bad that's happening. And then there's a few things that are really ugly within the market. Let's get started with the good. You know, today's market has a ton of benefits to it. If you're a buyer looking to purchase a house, obviously the interest rates are phenomenal right now. You know, being able to borrow at 3% or sometimes lower allows you the opportunity to actually borrow more money and buy a house that's probably a little more expensive than you could normally afford. If you're a seller, obviously you are very popular right now. Everybody wants to buy your house. Doesn't matter what you do with the house. And you're usually getting a lot more value than expected with the over asking price offers, multiple offers. So there's a ton of benefit to both buyers and sellers in this type of market. Unfortunately, with some of the good, there are some bad things happening that you need to be aware of. Number one on the list, obviously, is lack of inventory. There's just nothing out there to buy. If you're a buyer, you have to be very competitive with your process of buying a house. Offers need to go in very quickly, typically 10 to even as high as 25-30% over asking price. You're having to waive a lot of things like your appraisal contingencies. You're having to waive things like the inspections and things like that, which I'm not real comfortable having my buyers waive, but unfortunately, you know, that sometimes is a situation you're in. If you're a seller, you know, you would think there's no downside to that, but there actually are quite a few things that are happening with sellers. There's a lot of default because when those appraisals are done, buyers can't qualify for the financing and then they drop off. So you're starting essentially from scratch. If you are having to put your house back on the market again, you're automatically kind of tagged as what's wrong with your house? Why did it go back on the market? And you've got kind of that scarlet letter of this house may not be something a buyer should look at. So there are some bad things going on for both buyer and seller. Unfortunately, the last thing on my list is going to be the ugly. You know, in a market like this, some things tend to get a little ugly. And people don't really realize some of the things going on because they're so caught up in the huge demand, the skyrocketing prices, the low interest rates, all the good stuff. But sometimes there's things that tend to get a little ugly. You know, agents get a little desperate. When there's not a lot of listings out there, they'll do whatever it takes to get listings, which can get a little ugly. Buyers really give up everything in order to get the house they want. You know, they'll give up appraisals, inspections, and really are just paying whatever the seller is comfortable with accepting. That can get a little ugly. You know, the big thing with sellers, they think that they're on the top of the totem pole. One of the big difficulties that I'm seeing with sellers is once you've sold, great, but then you become a buyer and you're going to have to struggle the same way as the buyer was buying your house to find that property, to bid, compete with multiple offers, and go through that same, I hate to use that word ugliness, but that's kind of what it is sometimes. Is some of these these bidding wars become a little ugly. Anyway, nothing that can't be solved, nothing that a good realtor can't maneuver you through. But I wanted to talk today about the good, bad, and ugly of Central Florida real estate. I hope you like this video. If you get a chance, check out some of my other videos. I've got a lot of content on a lot of different topics that might help you as either a buyer or seller. If you are looking at relocating in Central Florida, drop me a line. I'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks again. We will talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.